The alien woman and her child were fading away. One human's mercy gave them joy. The winds howled over the ashes of war. Smoke curled lazily from the broken hulls of crashed ships and armored walkers. The ground was scorched, bones crushed beneath ruined steel. High above, the sky flickered with the last embers of a battle long over, now forgotten. In the shadow of a collapsed fuel rig, an alien woman sat silently, her body curled protectively around a small, sleeping child. Her skin, once a glowing shade of violet, had dulled to gray-blue. Her breathing was shallow. She had not eaten in days. The child, barely 5 cycles old, clutched a scrap of fabric that used to be part of his blanket. He hadn't cried in hours, too tired for tears. The woman's name was Cyril. She had once been an envoy, a scholar, a proud voice of peace for the Valithi race. Now, she was a ghost clinging to the last breath of life. Her people had abandoned her. Her ship had been downed. No help was coming. She had made peace with that. But her child, she had not borne him to watch him starve. She looked up at the sky with hollow eyes. "If anything out there still hears me," she whispered, voice cracked and dry, "don't save me, Jussim." Footsteps crunched through the debris. She tensed. It was a human, alone. He wasn't armored like a soldier. No rifle in his hands. Just a pack slung over his back, and a dark coat wrapped tightly around him. His face was drawn, tired, streaked with soot but alert. He spotted her, stopped, and his hand went slowly toward his belt, not a weapon but a flask. Cyril's body trembled, muscles ready to shield her son for what she assumed was inevitable. But the man knelt down, not close, just near enough to be seen clearly. "I'm not going to hurt you," he said quietly. His voice was hoarse. "I swear it." She didn't answer. Couldn't. He slowly unbuckled his pack and removed something wrapped in cloth, a flat container. He opened it and steam curled up from within. Food. Real food. The scent nearly overwhelmed her. The child stirred in her arms. The man saw it, gently. He set the food down in front of him and slid it toward her across the ash-covered metal. "I've got more. Let him eat." Cyril stared at him, mind reeling. No one had shown her kindness in days. Her people saw her as a traitor for siding with peace. The humans saw her as the enemy. And yet here was this one, offering. The child reached weakly toward the container. She stopped him with one arm, her eyes narrowing. "Why?" she rasped. The human looked at her, not like she was an animal, not like she was something to be pitied, just looked. "Because you're still alive," he said simply. "That means something." Cyril hesitated. Then slowly, she let the child take a bite. He ate like a creature reborn. The human moved no closer. He simply took off his coat and laid it nearby. "For the cold," he said, voice soft. "Night's coming." Then, to her utter disbelief, he turned to leave. "Wait," she said. He stopped. "What is your name?" He turned halfway, looking over his shoulder. "Damon, why did you really help us?" Her voice wavered. He paused, then said, "Because I lost someone. Long ago. A child. I couldn't help her. I saw your boy and I couldn't walk away again." Cyril's eyes stung. She blinked. Then, "Stay. Just a night." He hesitated, then nodded. That night, they shared what little warmth the coat offered. Damon fed the child water in tiny sips from his flask. He wrapped a heating pad from his pack around the boy's small feet. Cyril watched, both fiercely protective and quietly stunned. "You act as if we're not enemies," she murmured. Damon shook his head. "I stopped believing in enemies a long time ago. There's just people trying to survive. I thought your kind hated mine. Some do, some don't." He looked at her, "Just like yours." Cyril stared into the flames of the small fire he lit from scavenged debris. Her people would have let the child die rather than accept help from a human. She looked down at her son, now sleeping more soundly than he had in days. She whispered, "I thought we were going to die here." "Not today," Damon said quietly. The next morning, she woke with Damon's coat draped over her and a small piece of fruit resting beside her hand. He was gone. Panic surged in her chest, but then she saw a shape moving on the ridge above. He was gathering herbs. Carefully, skillfully, she rose, her joints aching but alive. When he returned, he smiled. "You're looking better." "You didn't have to come back," she said. "I did." "Why?" Damon looked down, thoughtful. "Because no one should fade away without hope." Cyril lowered her eyes. "You're different, Damon." "So are you." Days passed. They built a makeshift shelter out of broken plates and torn insulation. Damon made regular trips, scavenging supplies. Cyril, still recovering, helped as much as she could. She even laughed once, watching Damon try to teach her son how to whistle. It was strange, surreal, joy in the ashes of war. When the child fell asleep in Damon's lap one night, Cyril watched him silently for a long time. "You have the heart of a father," she said. Damon looked up. "Maybe I was meant to be. I never got the chance." "He calls you Talven now. It means protector in our tongue." Damon swallowed. "He's a good kid. He deserves more. You gave us more." 1 week later, rescue came. A human ship, part of a late evacuation effort. Damon had rigged a signal beacon days ago, never telling her. Cyril was wary. "They won't trust me." "They'll listen to me," Damon said. As they lifted into the sky, the child pressed his face to the viewport, watching the battlefield shrink beneath them. Cyril took Damon's hand. "I will not forget this," she whispered. "You don't have to." They settled in a quiet border colony where peace was more than a dream. Damon worked with settlers, while Cyril joined a school as a xenolinguist. Her child, now healthier than ever, would often run into Damon's arms at the end of the day. One evening, as stars bloomed in the sky, Cyril stood beside Damon under a quiet tree. "We were fading," she said. "I had no more hope." He looked at her gently. "But your mercy," her voice broke slightly. "You gave us more than life. You gave us joy." Damon didn't speak. He simply reached out, and she leaned into his warmth. For the first time in a long time, they both believed in tomorrow.